Next up, we have Gloria Levin. Right here. Oh, here it is. Gloria Levin's heart remains in St. Paul, where she lived all her life until several years ago. Now living in Minneapolis, she makes frequent forays across the river to walk favorite streets. She's a psychoanalyst. It's hyphenated across the page. I just had a cognitive dissonance there. A psychoanalyst in private practice. Please welcome Gloria.
The St. Paul Almanac has really made me think about stories more than I normally do, and I think there's probably too many that will never run out for things to publish in this book, so I hope it never ends. Reflections in Polished Wood. My fiancé and I were beginning to panic. The year 1968 was a troubled time for the country, but we had our own reasons to feel turbulent. 6 weeks until our wedding, and we had not found a place to live. Everything was too expensive for our student budget. Now here we were, pulling up to a house with an upstairs apartment at the corner of Knapp and Como in St. Anthony Park. We got out, walked up the steps, and from around the side of the house came an old man with a big smile and a firm handshake, Mr. Stevenson. He led us to the backyard and up the outside steps to the apartment. The place was small, but nice. We held our breath. The rent? $80 per month. We took it on the spot, hardly believing our luck. We never bothered with the lease, the first of several unconventional arrangements that we made with our new landlord. We spent our wedding night in our sweet new home. Mr. Stevenson, it never occurred to us to address him any other way, quickly figured out we were on a tight budget. When we spoke to him about arranging for phone service, he offered to share his line with us. We agreed that we would answer the phone and let him know if the call was for him. But how to let him know? Mr. Stevenson came up with a solution. He bought us a small wooden mallet from a child's peg set. Knock 3 times on the floor and I'll pick up, he said. Our venture in cooperative living began. Sometimes the 3 of us shared dinner together. If Mr. Stevenson got the mail, he would put it on our steps. If we picked up the mail, his would be on the dining room table. Mr. Stevenson didn't mind if we came downstairs. He was lonely and liked company. We had the run of the house. When I spoke to him about his TV set being too loud for me to study, he obligingly figured out how to use a pair of earphones. He loved it, said he no longer had to listen to commercials. Mr. Stevenson also let us use his washing machine in the basement. I was happy to carry the basket of clothes down our stairs, winding my way through his dining room and kitchen. I loved opening the door at the bottom of the steps to view his splendid dining room table with its dark, deeply carved wood. Red velvet chair cushions added a touch of elegance. When sunlight streamed through the leaded glass windows onto the table and sideboard, I would pause, drinking in the beauty. 2 years went by with this harmonious arrangement. I soon graduated and got a job on campus. A beautiful baby girl eventually arrived, and our household and hearts were full. My husband was working hard to finish his doctorate, spending long days and nights in the lab on his research. I was home and glad for adult company, and Mr. Stevenson loved the baby. That winter, Mr. Stevenson caught pneumonia. When I wasn't nursing the baby, I nursed Mr. Stevenson. Then Mr. Stevenson found a lady friend. We liked her too, but now when I went to use the phone, I often had to wait. They were visiting. One night, as usual, I went downstairs with a load of laundry, opened the door, and came upon a passionate scene. We were all embarrassed, and I quickly averted my eyes. The next day, Mr. Stevenson was livid, the only time he was ever angry with me. We had to make a new rule. I was now to knock on the door, and he would answer it before I could come downstairs. We no longer had the run of the house. Life had changed, and I didn't see the dining room set as often. After my husband finished graduate school, Mr. Stevenson decided to sell his house and move to California. It was both a happy and a sad time, for we would miss our life with Mr. Stevenson. I wondered what he would do with his furniture, especially the magnificent dining room set. Then one day he asked a question. Would we like the dining room set? My heart leaped. Could we possibly own these gorgeous pieces? Yes, he would sell it to us for $50. We couldn't believe our good fortune. Over the years, that special dining room set has been my pride and joy. I still enjoy the play of light on its glistening dark wood, just as I did in those early years. It is a tangible reminder of Mr. Stevenson, our unusual living arrangement, and our great friendship. As for Mr. Stevenson, he did move to California, but in less than a year he returned, married his lady friend, and moved to her home. We continued to see him from time to time, and saw that they were happily married for 10 years until he passed away at age 96.